Hi, I'm Diane, your host of Epic Conversations. Thanks for joining us. We're back again with Greg Smith. Greg is the Director of Outreach for New Horizons Foundation in Colorado Springs. And we have been having some great times with Greg. Today, we're going to be talking about orphans. And orphans specifically who have made an impact, positive that is, in this world. So you're in for a real treat. Thank you for joining us. And Greg, thank you for coming back again. We're enjoying all these stories that are testimonies and powerful lives that have been changed by people who know Jesus. So please share with us some testimonies of orphans that you know that lives have impacted the world.
Oh, great. Thanks, Diane. I'd be glad to do that. So, again, at New Horizons Foundation, we're just an umbrella nonprofit that partners with different charitable activities throughout the world. We're a public charity. And part of that is missions and outreach to orphans.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm certainly not the expert on it, but I would say UNICEF knows something about orphans, right? So from their own words and their own studies, 700 kids this year have already been killed just by indiscriminate violence in Afghanistan.
Oh.
Many of those kids are orphans, so that they're in the wrong place at the wrong time because they don't have adult leadership to help them, right?
Oh.
Or they're in situations where they're at a school. In Nigeria, 37,000 people have been killed in incidents by Boko Haram recently. Many of those involved orphans or orphanages, where they have it's an easy target for them to come in and attack.
Oh, they attack the orphanages?
They kill the boys and take the girls.
Oh, I don't even want to ask what they're going to do with the girls.
It's not. So there is, and I do want to tell you a story, but let's tell you a story about Central African Republic. So again, according to UNICEF, it's the most dangerous place for children in the world.
And where is this?
This is in Central Africa Republic.
Africa Republic, okay.
Yes. They are saying that kids are being killed, raped, abducted, or recruited into armed groups.
Oh, gangs like?
Gangs, yeah, military, militia. So you add to that the death from just poor hygiene. You know, it doesn't cost any money to teach a kid how to have good hygiene, to wash their hands.
Yeah,
it doesn't cost any money.
Simple thing.
We don't need to raise funds for that at all. All we need to do is build relationship and share. And of course, a lot of these kids in this country, Central African Republic, are starving, living in constant fear. And of course, many have food insecurity. They don't know where their next meal is coming. So one individual here in the United States went over there and began looking. And he was looking for those who have nothing that would help those who have even less.
Oh, that's an awesome thing.
And he found an orphan. And began discipling and ministering to this orphan who came to Christ. And then walked through them in their life.
How long did he do this for?
This is over a span of 15 years.
Wow, 15 years, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And as he got to know this young man and see the leadership qualities in him, he encouraged him to say, where are those kids? Show me those orphans who have that leadership skill like you do, who have that fire, who have a need. Again, we're looking for the people who have nothing. They don't have a family. They don't have any hope of finishing maybe but a few years of elementary school. They have no jobs. There are no jobs there. There are no jobs. 90% unemployment. So what are they going to do? You don't have a family to feed you. You don't have a consistent home to stay in. So this young man looks for those individuals and those kids and begins to work with them and encourage them and teach them basic hygiene, how to wash your hands, how to take care of yourself, provide food for them, provide the main necessities of life for them, and ultimately with the goal of helping them get a college degree. Most of these kids cannot get a college degree in country, but they're so dedicated because now they know Jesus too, to the ministry in their country, that they go. And in fact, to date, no kid has gone away to a foreign university and not come back to the country. They all come back. Why? Because they know what they're leaders. They know the impact they can have in their community. And they don't come back to jobs. There are no jobs. They create the jobs. So during this training, they're getting training in entrepreneurship.
That's a powerful tool.
It is
there
amazing.
are no jobs, so make your own. Become an entrepreneur.
Exactly. And so maybe they did study engineering, maybe they're in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start their own business. And of course they're hiring people that are the kids that they're discipling and encouraging to go on as well, to go to school and to graduate.
That's powerful.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That is a powerful ministry.
So anytime you impact a kid's life, you're not just that kid, especially in third world countries like this. You're impacting a whole community.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately a whole country.
Oh,
Sometimes a nation, right?
We don't think of that sometimes, we can be selfish as humans.
Mm-hmm.
We think just me, myself, and I. If I can do this.
Yeah.
But it goes way beyond that. Because when that gentleman discipled that guy, it's not just him. He's impacted the whole village or the whole town. And like you said, ultimately the whole country. That's what evangelism is all about. If one touches one, and then it's like a exponential effect.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is interesting. I did not know that. But I want to hear another story.
It's great. Let me just say, to end that story, that I think we all have a purpose.
Yes.
Especially believers. We have an eternal purpose, right?
Yes.
You don't have to fly over to wherever to have an impact in your city, in your neighborhood, in your community, with your family. If you will invest in a kid, even if they're not an orphan,
that's good.
it can be very, very powerful for changed lives, because you're pointing them to what's important, what's eternal. So another story, young man, so in Liberia, I don't know if you remember about Ebola, but thousands killed. Wars, both external and internal revolution, thousands killed, tens of thousands. Other diseases, economic collapse. And now we get a whole population of kids that grow up as orphans.
The parents were killed.
They're gone. One such orphan was blessed to have a team come alongside him. And of all the gifts you can think about, he had the gift of broadcasting. And so he developed that, went to school, very sharp man, naturally entrepreneurial. He gets a storage container, puts it on a hill in Liberia, because the higher the tower, right, the farther the broadcast, and starts a Christian radio station. Out of a storage unit, no windows,
Wow.
You know how hot it is
That's
there,
good.
so just keep the doors open and run the station.
That's creative.
Yes. From that, he's been able to have a tremendous ministry to the kids that nobody wants to deal with in town. Especially these kids, they're little scooters, they aren't scooters, and they call them beep beep kids because they're just beep 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 beep, and everybody hates them. They are a courier service. They'll give you a little taxi ride if needed, but they don't wear helmets. They're dangerous. They come up on the sidewalk. Everybody hates these kids. They're renegades. He finds out they love soccer. So he puts a little soccer field next to the storage container with the tower. So as the radio station is broadcasting, it starts broadcasting the idea of having a little soccer tournament and trying to attract these kids that no one even wants to have anything to do with. And during that time, he gets the opportunity to share with them about Jesus.
Oh, beautiful. And they received Jesus.
And today, he actually travels throughout Africa, helping others with radio station setup, media, and he has a big, big vision. He hasn't even started. It's very exciting.
That is encouraging. Here's someone who started with, a little radio station with no windows on top of the highest place, and he definitely has a vision. And he has a heart to share Jesus with people. And the people that nobody wanted, he wanted, and he wanted to introduce them to Jesus, who wants everybody. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for joining with us today. Thank you for listening. And you can make an impact in your neighborhood, in your families, and your anywhere where you at your workplace, just like that gentleman did. Got some creative ideas. And look at the kids that may need a loving touch, a loving hand, and to know Jesus too. Thank you for joining us, and please, if you're like these episodes, share it with a friend. And in the meantime, we got more episodes with Greg coming up. Have an epic day in the Lord.